Today I'm going to share with you my approach to containers, either for um, contain our materials, our growing mediums, or contain our plants. And first, let me show you an easy one that I found at IKEA. That is this clothing bags or garments bags that I found. They were like really cheap, maybe like $2 each or maybe less. Uh, and as you can see, I have like labeled it for begonia because I had a little bit of begonia mix that I have on one of these containers that I'm going to use now. And these are great for storing um, a smaller amount of soil mix or materials. Like for example, in I have those not quite that, but for example here you can see I have another one where I'm going to have my stratum, and this one is for chunky mix. So I tend to have on the bigger containers the pure material, like you can see on the in the channel. If you go to the videos, you'll find the materials or growing medium list of what I use, and you see there how I store them. And usually they're in containers as big as this one. Actually, this is the one that I use for that video. But this eventually, right now, is containing the charcoal that I made. But this eventually is going to end up in the garden. I'm going to put some drainage holes in the bottom, and make an arrangement out of this. You can see it in a future video in a setting for the garden or arrangement for the garden. Now, today the one that I want to work on is um, these. They are also from IKEA. Now, IKEA can be good, but it can be expensive as well. You have to look around to see what fits your needs and what's on sale at the time. For example, these containers, when I got them, uh, I would say like 2 weeks ago, they were at Walmart, they were at the store, and they were on clearance. They were $3 each, uh, so possibly half off of the regular price. They came with a lid and everything, but I'm not going to be using those. Now, these in particular, when I went to get this one, that's where I got the idea. Apparently, they don't make this one anymore, at least not in this idea of clear, see-through material like acrylic, but they make it in this opaque acrylic, but it's not see-through. So, for what I want to make, which is a bigger planter for my caletheas, and I have my caletheas all in self-watering pots. But watering pots I only come uh, for a reasonable price in the um, six uh, 6-inch pot. For example, like this one right here, and like this one, uh, like I have the other ones are, from different growers and from different big box stores. They have a little window there so you can see the water level, and then you'll have the container with the wick and the reservoir. There's many different types of self-watering pots out there, but if you look around, the ones that come ready to go are quite expensive. So, for example, I don't remember exactly what was the price that I just paid for this last week. I'm gonna put it down here on the screen. But this one was in the assist aisle, so it was, I think, like $3 or something like that. It was a lucky find. I'm always looking for that whenever I go and shopping. I will go to the clearance. I will go to the assist aisle in IKEA or clearance in the big box stores to see what I can eventually use as a container. Because as you see, like the other ones are not made for to put soil or soil mixes in them, and these are not made to become pots. But that's what I'm going to do, and when I'm going to share how I do this. So these are exactly the same. Uh, as you can see, they're the same size. But now I'm gonna use this one for the plants and this one for the water. Why? This is perfect for the water because I'll be able to see the level, and the blue tint on it is not gonna let any algae to grow. And this for the opposite, like I'll be able to put all the soil without getting any light into the root system or anything. You can do it the other way. If you want to see the root system, uh, that's another option that you can do as well, but you won't see the reservoir. If you have two of these, or two that are like transparent, you can do that. There's many options out there. You just have to have an idea of what you need, and then look the options that are available. Um, for example, here, while I'm talking, I will show you the the other options that I found that are cheaper, um, that I just saw online for you, uh, at Amazon, and on and at Walmart. I mean, you can look anywhere, but you can look for like waste baskets or waste bins and containers and whatnot, just to give you an idea of what's out there and how you can manage your budget. Um, so let's start with this. Uh, Considering that this is going to be holding the plants and this is going to be the reservoir, if I put them together and let them sit, I will only have about 2.5 inches of reservoir. For me, having this amount of calyptus here, that can dry out really fast. So what I want to add to the pot from the reservoir is a boost. So I also found these little containers at IKEA. I will put the price also on the screen. When I saw them, I thought they would be great for orchids. Like I have a couple of my orchids here. Um, in this container, it's a little bigger. I thought this may be for more individual orchids. But right now, I'm gonna use for this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put four of this in the bottom. They'll be loose. I'm just need enough lift for this to sit on. So now with this in place, look at that. Now I have about five 5 inches, meaning double, of reservoir. This is also easier to see if this is on the floor. It's easier to see the level of the water. So now what we're going to do is add the drainage for this. There will be the drainage and also the entry for the wicks that will apply in order for the water to get to the roots of the plants. So let's start with that. So just to have an idea, this will be sitting somewhat like this, because I'm placing them upside down to distribute the weight. So what I have is the middle, the cross section, and then the side where I can add. So like I won't be adding holes right here because then they will be pointless. Now this being acrylic, don't put a lot of pressure into the material because otherwise it will crack. So start slow and work your way in. What I'm gonna do is do about for the wicks in this pot, I will say I probably start with 4 and 4, so that we'll say 8. So we'll have 4 on each corner. The very corner, we're gonna add a bigger drainage. If you see I'm not applying a lot of pressure, what I'm doing is just letting the drill do the job. I'm just oscillating it so you start getting material out. Just like that. Now let me do the other holes, and then I'm gonna switch to the other bit to do the smaller ones that have that will have the wick. Okay. These are, I have a bunch of these from plants that I bought before. You don't necessarily have to do this. You can use just the wick itself, or buy cotton cord that you can use as a wick and just add it throughout the holes. But because this is a little too big for that, it will fall off into the water. I need to make a hole that is comparable to the ones that come in here. I'm going to use this, and this is a 5/16 bit. So now remember that I have this, I mean, I'm sorry, this way. I have plenty of rooms to add wicks around here because they're going to be in these 4 places. 8 wicks, I'm going to put like 2 over here, 2 over here, 2 over here, and then 2 more right here. So a total of 8 wicks. But instead of being like so close to the edge, I'm going to come a little closer to the middle. This is the 1/2 inch that works from what I'm doing. So like now it can fit, and perfect like that. There's enough resistance on the way out that these little taps will do. So that's perfect. So now we're going to make the other 7 holes. Because these are going to be clogged basically with these plugs. Now, if you do just a wig with a smaller hole, that's not so much of a clogging, but you have to keep in mind that you want to have not only the holes for the plugs or for the wig, but you also want to have the drainage ones. And I'm going to add a bigger one at the end here, just in the middle, finish it, because there will be some drainage happening when it's over full through the wig. But even though that calices don't have that much problem with root rot, if you have the right soil mix, it's still better prevent that situation. My battery's almost dead, but we'll see if we can finish this. So we said this 6 for the wicks. When I got 2 more like down in the middle, I know this battery's not gonna make it. Let me get a new battery. All right, here we go. To make another drainage in the very middle. And there it is. So now we have a container to the calices. We have the boosters, then we have the reservoir. So then we have this. Right there, and right there. So now let me show you before I let you go. All right, let's take a quick look, and I'm going to show you what are the other containers I have from trash or other containers. Most of them are trash cans, and let me show you. That was also a waste basket. And you see that? You see those holes on the side? That's another idea to have in mind, because once they get heavy with the plants and the soil and everything, it's hard to like get a grip on them to move them around if you need to, and the holes come handy, you know, as a grip. This, for example, was also another type of bucket that I found. I don't remember where I found that. That's another waste basket or trash bin. Let's see, what else do I have here? This is another trash bin. You see right there. I added holes to that one too. For example, there's one right here where I have these. Even for this, back when I was in Dallas, I was adding these handles because I have to move them in and back so forth because of the weather, that I put these handles so I could just grab them easier and not depending on the holes. That's another waste basket. I got those. I have another one over there. I got those like also last year when I was at Walmart, and they were on sale. They were like $2 or $3. That's another one. You see, like those two are waste baskets. I even left a lot of them behind. For example, these big ones that have the handles, like came with the handles, these I found last year at Home Depot, and they're not pots. They're some kind of barrel or container. They were like $10 each for that size, and those are huge. There's another one here. This is one that I'm about to turn into a container. A pot. I already put the drainage holes there, but that's another waste basket. That's another waste basket that I painted. I can show you how to do that paint later on, make it more unique. These are also these little buckets that are not pots. So you see, there's so many different approaches that you can do to get containers. That's another one back there. You see, like also that one has the handles. Let's see if I can get you a look there. See where the potos is? It has the handles as well. So that is all for today. That's all for this video. On the next one, you just saw recently the potting mix for my calitheas. Now you saw the creation of the pot or the container where they're gonna go. In the next one, I will be repotting some of my calitheas and make a calitheas arrangement in that container. So if you like anything that you've seen or find anything helpful and you'd like to support me, please drop a like and consider subscribing so you can get notifications on my upcoming videos. And also, if they want to show an extra, I create an account on Buy Me a Coffee, and it's right here on the screen right now. Thank you so much for staying with me, and I will talk to you soon.